News, a service of Progressive Windows and Doors. I'm John Matthews. Finance is improving for the Burns-Flat-Dill City School District. That's our big story for 7:30. The financial situation of Burns-Flat-Dill City Public Schools is improving, says Superintendent Jamie Matuszewski.
With our ad valorem that has been coming in over the last few months, we're actually looking a lot better. The expectation or speculation that we had was that we would be around 700,000 into the upper 800,000s, but actually our ad valorem's come in at 1,016,000, which has really been a boost for our school for sure.
Matuszewski says he doesn't expect a reduction in force for current employees.
Actually, with some retirements that we've had and some resignations, people taking jobs elsewhere, looks like through attrition, we should be okay. We shouldn't have to have a reduction in force. We should be able to move forward with the staff we have in place.
However, Matuszewski says the district is seeking to fill a couple of vacant coaching positions. The city of Weatherford is considering a tax increment financing district, says Economic Development Director Yolanda Cresswell.
We finally got some things situated with the lot. That lot is going to be located west of Home 2 Suites. There's about 21 acres. It gives tax incentives to retail businesses, restaurants to locate here in Weatherford that really probably would not locate without these incentives.
Cresswell says retail attractions will meet with some potential retailers and restaurants in an effort to sign letters of intent. She says the goal is to keep Weatherford moving forward. Cresswell says the site developer could attend the Weatherford City Commission meeting next month. A candidate for State Superintendent of Public Instruction has ties to Western Oklahoma. Craig McVeigh, who is a former principal at Thomas High School, was the guest speaker at Weatherford Rotary yesterday, where he highlighted his Back to the Basics goal for education in the state.
Let's take away the iPads and replace them with writing pads. Let's get back to teaching cursive writing and reading across the board. Let's introduce technology later rather than earlier. We need to get away from the things that are keeping us from teaching what our kids need to know, and that's how to read and write, and add, subtract, multiply, and divide.
McVeigh will face off against Jeanette Marshall in the Democratic primary election on June 16th. We'll have more news coming up next.
Progressive Windows and Doors.
Hi, Jeremy here. Although most windows appear to be equal, there are differences in their performance and function that can greatly impact how they protect you and your home. We have engineered our windows to keep out the harshest of elements while maintaining ease of operation. To see for yourself, come visit our plant and showroom. We are located just 2 miles south and 2 miles east of Fairview on the Isabella Blacktop.
German engineered, Oklahoma built.
Weatherford Regional Hospital Chief Executive Officer Darren Farrell served as guest speaker to the Weatherford Economic Development Foundation Wednesday. Right Media's Mike Smith was there.
Farrell touched on the economic impact of both Weatherford Regional Hospital and the area healthcare sector.
We have about 222 employees that create through their payroll about $10.5 million. Again, this is a few years old. There's a factor that equates that to a total impact of about $13.5 million in the area. And then retail sales usually work out to about $2.8 million from that locally, and generating a sales tax just from that of $27,000. And so the total economic impact in Weatherford right now is estimated on the direct income at 55.3 for the health sector, 65.8 with a sales tax of almost $135,000 just from the healthcare sector.
Farrell says the current hospital is 20 years old and is beginning to need some upgrades, including, among other things, a new roof, upgrades to the HVAC systems, and replacement of the boiler system. Mike Smith, Right Radio News.
Thank you, Mike. Sales tax receipts in the city of Weatherford are up for the 10th month in a row. Sales tax receipts for March sales were up just over 10%, collecting nearly $1.15 million. Year-to-date sales tax in the city of Weatherford is up just over 10.1%. The Clinton Public School Board of Education recently discussed the next steps for the former Clinton Middle School building. Potential plans include demolition, renting, or selling the building. Board members also suggested potentially keeping the auditorium and tearing down the surrounding area of the facility. Superintendent Nathan Meggett spoke about the building.
It's a historical marker in Clinton too, and you're going to run into that, but also it's going to turn into a money pit eventually. There's a lot of different things that we've got to consider when we do this.
The board took no action, but Megid says he will gather further information for all options. Here's state news with the Radio Oklahoma Network.
News from the Radio Oklahoma News Network. I'm Ann Roberts. Expanding the reach of dental care in rural Oklahoma is the aim of a bill signed into law by the governor. State Capitol correspondent Trey Davis has the story.
The measure allows dental assistants to work under the general supervision of a dentist to assist dental hygienists during certain procedures. Current law requires a dental assistant to have direct supervision by a dentist. A shortage of dental health care providers in rural Oklahoma means patients often travel long distances for care or go without treatment since it isn't available where they live.
Another death row inmate is scheduled to die this morning at the state prison in McAllister. Raymond Johnson beat his girlfriend, Brooke Whitaker, with a hammer and then doused her and the woman's 7-month-old daughter, Kaya, with gasoline and set them on fire. More on these stories at RadioOklahomaNews.com. From the Radio Oklahoma News Network, I'm Ann Roberts.
News at 7:30. A service of Progressive Windows and Doors. Coming up next, we'll look at local funeral notices after a word from Lee Hometown Funeral Home.
When you lose a loved one, it's important to have someone who's compassionate, understanding, and personal. Brandon Lee with Lee's Hometown Funeral Home in Clinton is dedicated to honoring your loved ones with heartfelt service. His goal is to create meaningful tributes that celebrate lives while guiding you with every step of the final process. Whether it's a traditional service, cremation, or pre-planning, if you have already purchased a funeral plan elsewhere, they will honor it as if it was their own. At Lee Hometown Funeral Home, they continue the tradition of caring and personal service. Please visit today to experience the difference.
A rosary service for 71-year-old Patrick Cleveland Welch will be held today at 9:30 at the St. Matthew Catholic Church in Elk City. A funeral mass will be held at 10:30. He worked as a registered nurse. Services under the direction of Winery Funeral Service and Cremation Center in Elk City. Funeral services for 98-year-old Leslie Laverne Dillocker will be held today at 2 o'clock at the Arapahoe Methodist Church. He worked as a truck driver. Burial will follow at the Arapahoe Cemetery, where services under the direction of Lee Hometown Funeral Home. Today's funeral notice is brought to you by Brandon Lee at Lee Hometown Funeral Home in Clinton.